Contracts and back. From a tourist core up in the back as though they got you. I never let them stop me. The struggle continues. Now, if we do want to live a thug life and a gangster life and all of that, okay. So stop being cowards and let's have a revolution. But we don't want to do that. Dudes just want to live a character. They want to be cartoons. But if they really wanted to do something that tough, all right, let's start our own country. Let's start a revolution. Let's get out here. Let's do something. To my niggas in the world, to me back. When my soldiers attack, when my soldiers attack, when I put my soldiers attack, when my soldiers attack, we got the real logic. No going back. To my niggas in the world, to me back. When my soldiers attack, when my soldiers attack. You can believe that if you want to. Back in the 30s, Adolf Hitler, when he had the Nazis, they did an experiment. And the experiment was on repetition of sound on your mind. And if you heard something enough, y'all hold on a second. Hey, bruh, come here, bruh. Come here. No, bruh. Come here, bruh. Come here. Come on, look here. Look, check this out. You gonna wait until I decide to start doing this before you gonna go and get, y'all hold on a second. I'll be right back. Y'all hold up. Yes. You damn smart for your own damn good. You did that on purpose. Just because, okay, all right, I see how we rolling. I thought you was my boy. Well, I guess everybody ain't down for the team. Anyway, welcome to the Midday Muse. This is not the morning mental. This is not facts over feeling. This is the Midday Muse, where we muse over a few things that should be on our mind. That's because you didn't get a morning mental, because I wanted to muse with you in the middle of the day, if y'all don't mind. That's right, just a few seconds of your midday. Here it is, almost lunchtime for somebody, the Midday Muse. I'm gonna muse with a purpose. This morning, somebody said it's time to get back to the business, and I don't know who I'm talking to this morning, but I do know that a grand rising to everybody out there. And of course, I have to salute the Most High, and I have to salute all my brothers and sisters and everybody who got their seatbelt on, because I kept telling y'all that I am not Hollywood, I'm neighborhood, okay? Don't let the smooth talk fool you. I'm straight from the hood too. I am very much as project-ish as they get, and you only gonna be able to poke the bear so long before I got to show you a part of the projects I'm from. But that's all behind us now, because now we can get back to the business at hand. And before I continue, let me say this is the Midday Muse, where we muse over a few things that's going on here in the world, and then bring you up to speed on some others, no matter where you are in the world. I am so glad that you are here with us, whether you are here on the North American continent, South American continent, over there in Europe somewhere, all the way down in the motherland of Africa, all the way down through the Caribbean, all the way out there down in Australia, New Zealand. I'm feeling all y'all right about now, because we are one family. You know, the first thing I wanted to muse over this morning was that they had a headline that came out that says, now listen to this, this is relevant to what's going on in the world right now. Think about this. They said that even though there is a pandemic, and even though there's supposed to be semi-travel restrictions and regulations and all that good stuff, that in spite of all of that, according to the latest statistics, they saying that despite a sharp decrease, listen to this now, there's a decrease in air travel because of this coronavirus, that the Transportation Security Administration, the TSA, has said that the rate of guns found per passenger screened at the airport security checkpoints last month was up 3 times than last year. They saying more people are strapped getting on the plane. We're not talking about checking like they're not going to the ticket counter and checking their weapons in as checked bag. We're talking about people going on a plane with some heat. It's up 3 times. Now, who's carrying all these guns? Oh, we got the Muse over this. Because if you think about it, why all these guns? Maybe the guns was always there. No, they saying that's not the case. TSA said Monday that it discovered more than 300 guns in carry-on baggage nationwide in July, which said that's about 15.3 guns per million people. That's up. That's up actually 5%. They said 80% of those firearms was found in carry-on bags and that they was loaded. Y'all not hearing me. They getting on the plane with loaded weapons. These are the ones that they caught. Y'all remember the video where the brother and the sister got me, the brother and the white lady got into it on the plane, and old girl pulled out a pistol, and didn't nobody do nothing? She didn't get dragged off the plane crying and screaming and all. Ain't none of that happened. Privilege. Now let's flip the script. If a brother and a white woman got to arguing on the plane and the bro pulled out a weapon, bruh, they would have came up on there with SWAT, SRT. They've been throwing gas. Innocent people would have got shot. The bro would have, he went for his gun. They'd have shot him about 100 times. Privilege. But now this report comes out and they letting y'all know that 80% of the firearms found in carry-on bags at the checkpoints was loaded. That means you stand in line, minding your business, about to get on the plane, and there's somebody standing in front of you. Got a bag on their shoulder, just chilling, backpack, whatever. Got a loaded pistol in it. No problem. Going straight through TSA. You know why? Because if they get caught, that's one thing. But for the most part, they don't get caught. Y'all be careful wherever you are. And if you haven't seen fit to go get yourself a firearm at this point, you can let people ridicule you out of it. You can let people scare you out of it. You can let people talk you out of it. But what you better make sure is that you don't ever find yourself in this situation right here. It's always better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. You don't want to be the only one out there when something finally pop off and everybody pulling out everybody getting in it, everybody trying to shoot their way to their car, everybody doing whatever they doing. You the only one out there running, oh, what am I gonna do? You ain't got no firepower, none. Now they saying that 80% of the bags that they catching at the checkpoint is loaded. Now, I'm not going to infer anything here on the demographics of air travel, but who the hell do you think is getting on planes with loaded pistols? They got to be pistols because you ain't trying to get on the plane. Ain't nobody standing in the TSA with a semi-automatic, waiting to get in. No. These are all handguns in bags. So come on, y'all. Think about it. The officers at Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, which is the world's busiest, they said they found 27 guns. That's nearly one gun a day in July. I mean, every day somebody tried to come through with something. Every day. Now, for everyone that they catch, think about the ones that they don't. Come on, don't act like I'm the only one that's ever done it. How many of y'all ever brought something through the airport that maybe you forgot something was in your bag or you knew something was in your bag? I don't know. I'm not judging nobody, but you just wasn't sure if you wanted to pick up that bag at baggage claim because you remembered if something was in that bag, maybe they gonna let the bag come through because they want to know who the bag is attached to. So now you're standing there looking at your bag. Y'all, come on, don't act like I'm the only one that haven't done this. You're looking at your bag, you want to go get it, but now you're paranoid like a lot of other people. So everybody around you look like a cop. Everybody looks like an agent. Everybody even people who are just minding their own damn business. Come on, but don't act like I'm the only one. And you standing there like, go get that bag. Now he look like a cop. That's damn sure a cop over there. And before you know it, finally you got to make a decision. You just walk out and leave your bag and just leave it at that. Or you make a move. You just go grab the bag, you go pick up the bag, and you just go walk toward the door. And if anybody stop you, it's a wrap. But you got to make a move. You grab the bag and you start walking, and it look like everybody's gonna say something to you. Everybody looking at you. You looking at people all crazy. When the truth of the matter is, nobody knew anything was in your bag. You remember something was in your bag, but the fact that it got through the security systems, it got through the scans, it got through whatever they do. Sometimes you get your bags back and you look and they don't been in your bag. They leave a note that they've been in your bag. If anybody ever had this happen, you open your bag and you're like, what the hell? We were in your bag today. Like, what? And it's all haphazard, but they don't put it back together. You don't even get that treatment. Your bag just went straight through from wherever it was So think about that. If that can get through, and that's check bag, imagine what gets on the plane. And this report was so interesting because, you know, they saying black people, the gun sales are up almost 52% since May. Now, don't nobody ask me what happened in May that made everybody go out and start thinking that it's okay to arm themselves legally. I don't know what could have started all that. Maybe they said that there really was an uptick after the 4th of July. Don't ask me what could have happened, black folks, that could have made other black folks suddenly say, well, you know what? I need to get strapped up too, shorty. Don't ask me none of that, because I don't know what started all that. But what we do know is that more people are bringing guns on planes now that are loaded. This ain't something just for my protection. These motherfuckers sitting on the plane waiting for somebody. I wish a motherfucker. And you can't be sitting there and be the only person that don't have a seat when the music stops. That's all I'm saying. I'm giving y'all something to think about. This is the Midday Muse. I'm just putting some stuff on your mind real quick, and I'm gonna get out your hair real quick. Now, let me shift gears, and we're gonna slide on over here to the situation where the teenagers was getting attacked by a homeless dude with a knife. So several people called the police. Nobody said that the kids was assailant. They was the victim except for one call. And the police showed up and they jumped out and they got guns on. And when did they jump out with AR-15s? Whatever happened to the pistols? They don't even jump out with pistols. Motherfuckers get out the car with long-range weapons to take you on at close range. Think about it. They jumping out the car now. Oh, everybody get back. It's rubber bullets. No, motherfucker, it's not a rubber bullet. Think about it. They jump out, and then with the crowd standing there telling the cop, yo, man, those are the victims. The cop is, everybody shut up, back up, all of this. Now think about this, y'all. Let's stop it. Let's muse on this for a second. Okay. Let's just, I don't know what other way to say it, so I'm just going to say it like this. If you too pussy to do the job, why did you take the job to start with? This ain't a lion country safari. What the fuck is wrong with you? You think you just gonna put on the uniform and the badge and you just some TV shit, some music gonna play, and you and your boy gonna roll around and eat donuts all fucking day and be the coolest motherfuckers on the block? No, that shit don't happen on TV either. This is real people you talking about dealing with. You talking about going down in people's neighborhoods and getting in the middle of their situations and you scared of them? I'm sorry, maybe I must have missed something. Is there some type of fraternity or some shit like that, that in order for you to be a full member of the fraternity, you have to do some time on the police force? But the fraternity is anything but something that the police would even acknowledge exists. Is this what's going on? So you just got to get your time through behind the badge. And don't get me wrong, there might be some people out there who genuinely believe in law and order and they want to do their part to protect their communities and all of that. There may be some people out there, but when you have people like what I'm talking about that have infiltrated your culture, you get shit like what you see right here. My man obviously suffers from tunnel vision. He obviously suffers from the fact that when the adrenaline get pumped up, he can't think straight. He obviously has his training to fall back on, but his training is more military than anything else. He's not treating these people like I'm here to find out what the fuck is going on and I'm the big badge and I'm going to be the savior of the day. This motherfucker roll in like he's an occupying force. I said, everybody get on the goddamn ground, put your hands behind your knees and motherfucker interlock your arms. What y'all think this is? Come on, bro. You ain't even figured out who called for you. You just couldn't wait to hop out the car with your AR-15 and your little badge on, and you got the little shades and your hat on. Everybody on the goddamn wall. You ready to put a bullet in somebody because that's the thrill of the chase. And any police officer that's sitting here listening to me right now knows exactly what I'm talking about. You get caught up in the adrenaline rush. Woo, here we go. Woo, it's like the Incredibles. Somebody said it already or took the words out my mouth. That's right, it's your hunting. Interestingly enough, though, this particular case shines light on something else. There was an article that was published in the Atlantic, and what caught my eye was that not what it was talking about. It was what the headline said. The headline said, "Stop training police like they're joining the military." It says if policing is to change, the spotlight must turn toward police academies where new recruits are first inoculated into the folkway of the profession. That was the opening line to that article. I knew then I was going to be there for a minute. So I put my kickstand down and started to climb down into this article. because I've done time in the military myself, I could kind of relate that yes, I see some police officers that now act like they've been through basic training or something. You get what I'm saying? And this is no knock on police officers. And this is a big salute to everyone who's ever done this in the uniform. But once you've gone through basic training, once you've had your mentality stripped away from you, once you've been reprogrammed by the training of the government, once you have learned to love, hate your drill sergeants, once you learn what you really made of on the obstacle course and going to the range and the gas chamber. Y'all remember the gas chamber? Okay, we're going to stop right here for a second for y'all who don't understand what we mean by the gas chamber from back in the day. Everybody knew that when you went to basic training, at some point you had to face the gas chamber. Everybody talked about gas chamber. No matter what else they talked about, gas chamber was the one thing that you knew was coming up soon. And on the day that they took you to the gas chamber, mine was at Fort McClellan, Alabama, they always try to jazz it up, but it didn't help. It's how a lot of things that we're dealing with right now as a black nation, they trying to jazz it up, but we can smell what's around the corner. We can see through the cracks. We know what it's really about. But anyway, they taking us to the gas chamber, and it was down in the woods. As a matter of fact, they had a nickname on it. It was called the Boogie Hut. And I'm like, why do they call it the Boogie Hut? And I didn't understand that. But as we got closer through the woods to the gas chamber, you could hear music, and the music was bumping. The music was like, doo, 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 doo. And I'm like, who the fuck is playing music out here in the middle? Basic was just like one great movie. You just got to go through the shit. Who playing music down here in the middle of the woods? And what the fuck is that smell? Something was beginning to burn your nose. And I got a little closer, then you came around the corner and you saw the Boogie Hut. Boogie Hut wasn't that big. Boogie Hut. You didn't have no windows either. The Boogie Hut had a couple of pipes on top of it. The Boogie Hut had a line going in and a line coming out. And I'm telling y'all this because you got to realize how we're acting as a people. The line going in was some cool brothers. Brothers were standing strong on their square. They was, this is what they believed in. This is what they told y'all. They had people who believed them. They had their own little crowd. Everybody was together, and we were all in line because we knew that we were going this way to the Boogie Hut. And everybody had their uniforms tight, and everybody had their masks ready, and everybody was talking strong, like, yeah, man, I'm gonna handle this, ain't gonna be no problem. But on the other side of the Boogie Hut, where the doors where you came out was a different story. The people coming out of the Boogie Hut were, first of all, nobody walked out. Everybody came, like, ran out, and they were bent over, and they were coughing, and they were gagging, and snot was pouring out their nose, and they were crying, and someone was praying to everything that they could think of, and people was writing wills and shit. It was crazy. I'm like, oh, what the fuck happened in the Boogie Hut? That people were coming out this way, but there were people there to tell them how to be okay, to tell them, keep walking, it'll wear off. People telling them, get your breathing under control. I'm going to walk with you. You understand what I'm saying? There were people there, some who had already been in, some who were actually assigned to help. And if you was having an extremely hard time, a group of people would try to help you get yourself back together. The point I'm making is, you see, we as a black nation have to go through the Boogie Hut. And a lot of us are going, and some of us, we ain't trying to rush the line. We comfortable where we at. But in the Boogie Hut, something was going on that when you came out the other side, it might have been painful. It might have cleaned you out. It might have opened you up. It might have freed you. It might have broke you down. It might have gave you a relief that you needed. But when you came out the other side, there was people there waiting to help you get situated so that we could all move on together. And that's what we're going through right now. Somebody say, what happened in the Boogie Hut? Okay, I'll tell you what happened in the Boogie Hut. So I got up to the Boogie Hut. I'm one of those super intelligent brothers. I rationaled out the whole situation that apparently this place must be old because the gas that's supposed to be inside was seeping out of the pores of the building. So I'm thinking it's an old building. They need to build a new one. I wonder how much that costs. That's where my mind was. When I got to the door, there's a gentleman who had a mask on who said, put your mask on, make sure you got a good seal, and step inside. That was it. There wasn't no big briefing. I'm like, cool. I put my mask on, got a good little seal, and stepped inside. Yep, I stepped inside. And when I got inside, first thing I noticed, it was dark. And then when I looked around, I see a number of people standing all around the wall. And I'm like, why is everybody standing around the wall? But the line was going up, not to the wall. They were going to the center of the room. And in the center of the room, there were these canisters that were making the gas. It was the source of the gas that we heard about, the gas chamber that we had feared so much. There it was right in front of you, pumping out gas, just pumping. And they wanted you to walk up, make sure your mask was working. Your mask, if it was working, it was cool. You know, most brothers' mask was working, right? Everybody's shit was working, all right. But you always had that one who didn't take this seriously enough. You always had that one who was hating on it instead of getting with the program. You always had that one that was afraid because they had been so traumatized by what had happened to us before that maybe they just thought it was going to happen again. And they were just super cautious, so they didn't get on board. And then you had the ones that just hated the whole thing because they didn't think that it was necessary. Big shout out Nashville. They didn't think it was necessary for us to even have to go through this no more, that we had paid our dues. Why couldn't they just give us? They didn't want to do nothing. They just wanted it. They didn't want to put in no work. Those people, when they got up to where the gas was coming out, and the dude beside him said, inhale. So you supposed to make sure, bruh, all they inhaled was gas. And it was a wrap. I'm talking about when the gas got a hold of you. In other words, if you don't move when we move, if you don't elevate when we elevate, if we don't evolve as a people together and we leave you behind, there will be no step ladder for you to catch up. We're going to be on something different. You're going to still be on that OG old school. We're going to be on our way to trying to determine our destiny. You're going to be still sitting there here putting up with racism. We're going to be over here trying to build our economy, build our culture, build our education, strengthen our men and our women to be leaders again and producers. And for us to have you will still be over here trying to wait on the loan and getting discriminated on. Still riding around scared from the police because ain't nothing changed. Just a bunch of us left. You still here putting up with the silly shit, thinking it was going to be better. Meanwhile, we over here building international alliances and this, that, and the third. We talking to the UK about getting our art back. We talking about getting all our people that y'all done dug out the ground, put back in the goddamn ground where they belong, and stop digging up our people and parading them around for goddamn it your pleasure. I'm pretty sure that Tutankhamun would love to be resting in the ground where he's supposed to be until they raise everybody from Sheol. Can I talk to y'all for a second? That's what we gonna be doing while you sitting over here. Those are the people who masks didn't work, because when they hit you, it's gonna mess you up. Y'all ain't hearing me. Y'all are not hearing me. Y'all ain't hearing me. Y'all ain't hearing me. Listen. Once you got done having the gas in your face and your mask was working, they then put you over on the wall. You see, the people on the wall had to learn that once you get into the situation, now you got to be able to exist in the situation for a little bit. You don't just get to come in and get the gas in your face and then you get to leave. Nah, we don't do all that. We don't do that. Nah, we got something better in mind. What we got in mind is the fact that once you come in, you got to hang out for a while. You got to put in some work. Now, while you in there, it probably seemed like an easy thing to do. Can I talk for a minute? But just like people in life would do, there's a guy walking around. His job is to do one thing and one thing only. And that's to take that mask off your face. And let's see if you can function in the raw. Let's see if you can function without your protections. Let's see if you can function when you can't hide behind nothing, when you have to be you out in the open for everybody to see. Let's see. That's what that's for. Are you built for this? You got to pay some dues in this. So we standing up there and we all got our masks on, and some dude comes by and he asks you a question. He said, is your mask working? You say, yeah. Is it working for real? You go, yeah. He said, he snatched the motherfucker off, and then he say, now, what's your name? You tell me your name and you can leave. And you go to try to talk. And see, that's what the movement is like to a lot of y'all. When you open your mouth, it chokes you instantly. You can't get no air. You ain't nothing going down. Now, if you cool and you rest assured of who you are, you're gonna hold your motherfucking breath and say, okay, it's time for me to fuck about here. Where's the door? Where's the door? Where's the door? That's what you're gonna do. But you're not gonna panic. You're not gonna bitch up. You're not gonna turn on the brother next to you. You're not gonna pull a Scooby-Doo and jump on to the next nigga. You're not gonna do that. You're gonna try to figure a way out of this smartly. And then you're gonna find out there is no way out smartly, because it was built like that by design to make sure that you're true to what this is. And if you're not, then the door, you can try to make it to the door if you want to, but you ain't going out the door the way you came in. You can't. These type of circumstances change people. These type of circumstances got people arguing in their own house. These type of questions that are being arisen for what you prepared to do for the black race, what you prepared to do for the black nation, what are you prepared to do for the black army, what are you prepared to do for the black men, women, and children that need you, what are you prepared to do? Those conversations are being had right now because it's the time right now. I'm not even gonna go jump to the scriptures. I want to focus on the fact that a lot of y'all are ignoring the fact that they training the police like they in the military. Somebody said, what happened? I tell you what happened. They pulled the mask off. I tried to say my name. That wasn't happening. I looked at the dude. He said, go. I went to the door, but you got dudes in front of you, right? And some people just trying to hold it together. Some people just lose it. This is what's going to happen with a lot of people. We talk about actually exiting this country. This is what's going to happen. I'm telling y'all how it's gonna happen, but y'all don't gotta believe me. Just go back and look at the last 7 months of my posts and see how much I predicted has come true. Before we got to this situation with NFAC, we was talking about shit that came true 6 months ago. Facts over feelings, y'all better talk to them. We had masks on in December. Y'all didn't even know what was going on. Come on now, stay with me for a minute. Y'all, ain't nobody talking about 5G no more. What happened with all that? Anyway, the police are being trained like the military. And a lot of times you wonder why. You see, military training makes you think of people as enemy combatants, not as people you're there to protect, unless you're doing some type of peacekeeping mission. And even then, you're always 2 steps away from busting somebody in their ass. So if you train the police like the military, why are you surprised when the police respond to the public like the military? You're giving them military grade firearms now. You're giving them military grade armament. You're training them like they're the military. What are you doing? Are you preparing a police state, or are you building a security force that's supposed to protect the people and be proactive and make sure that things don't go wrong in the community like black institutionalized self-policing would do? It's a proactive model, not a reactive model. We don't wait for nothing to happen and then everybody come in knocking heads and shooting people. No, proactive policing is you know the neighborhood, you know the family, you know what's going on. You head stuff off before it gets that bad. And if something does happen, you've already got things in place to minimize that it becoming a problem in your community. It's treated as an incident by itself. And then you work along under the laws with whoever these other folks are. It should be a situation where, let's say something happens and the white police got to come down to the black community. That's it. You can't come no further than that. The black police will meet you. What's happening? What you need? Well, we looking for Joe. Joe did this. Okay, give us the paperwork. All right, we'll go get Joe. You wait right here. We go down. Joe, what's happening? Look at here, bro. Don't know what this is all about, but we with you. Let's rock. We all come back to the black police station in the black neighborhood with the white dude there who brought us this mess to start with. Now, we're going to take you in the room. What you know about all this, Joe? Joe, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, look, Joe. Okay, let's go out here and talk to them because they want to take you away, Joe. We can't let that happen. We're going to talk to them. That's the relationship we should have. Okay, we did our own investigation, and then we come in and let them know this is what we found out. Okay, well, this is what we found out. Well, don't give a fuck what you found out. This is what we found out. So we got 2 opposing investigations. The same way if somebody makes a statement, you can make a counter statement. If somebody says something about you, you can say something back. It's always about the balance of the scales of justice. Don't ever just take one person's side of something and don't get the other. That means you are operating an unfair scale, and y'all say he don't like that. I'm just telling y'all what he said. Don't get mad at me because you breaking all kind of holy law. That's not my problem. You're the one that's guilty. I'm just pointing it out. Okay, it needs to be pointed out. So let me shift for a second. Because some people act like this is just that. It's deeper than that. You know, one of the great lies that we're told and we tell ourselves, you know, as Americans, if you want to think of yourself as an American, it's kind of like they didn't know no better lie. That's the way we justify all of this stuff from back in the day that affects it. Well, they didn't know no better back then. It's the way that we cast back into history and say, well, you can't really criticize Christopher Columbus. You know, he didn't realize that the indigenous people were human beings who shouldn't have their hands chopped off and shouldn't have 14-year-old girls requisitioned into sexual slavery. But the fact of the matter is they're actually contemporary critics of Christopher Columbus is to say that what he's doing on the island of Hispaniola is an abomination against God. So you can say those things, but we can't use that excuse now. We have to have learned from our mistakes. We even have the 60s to look back at as a lesson in how to do it this time. That is why I am so disappointed that some of you all think that we have not evolved at all since the 60s. Like we're the same Negroes from the 60s, that we are actually sitting around celebrating our civil rights that we just got. And now we can go out and power to the people, and we can go out and exercise the ability to ride on a bus and sit at a countertop, and we can go to school where the white folks go now, and we can those, they can't discriminate. Y'all act like we're still those people. Y'all trying to talk like the 70s never happened. Marvin Gaye. Y'all trying to act like the 80s never happened. Sugar Hill. Y'all trying to act like the 90s never happened. Tupac and Lauryn Hill. Y'all trying to act like the 20 teens didn't happen. Man, I don't know about y'all. I'm not the same Negro from the 60s. As a matter of fact, from Ahmaud Arbery forward, I've shown y'all that I'm not that type of Negro. I am a 2020 Black person, and we respond differently. And because you've never seen that before, you're trying to plug it back into some old shit. Back in the old days, y'all had those, like, if you ain't learned your lesson from COINTELPRO, you a goddamn idiot. You got to be careful. Don't let anybody infiltrate you. No shit. Would you guys make sure that, has it occurred to anybody that we're operating inside of the confines of the Constitution? That's it. First Amendment and Second Amendment. That's all we're doing. And all of this distrust, all of this focus, all of this. I want to read something to you all, if y'all don't mind. I like to read every now and then. But I wanted to read something to you, if y'all don't mind. And I hope that no one gets offended by this, because if you do, I really don't care. But I wanted to share something with you. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Is it? Yes. All right, here we are. I'm just going to read what they said, because I couldn't have said it any better. I'll take my glasses off for this. I'm not going to tell you who said it, but I'm going to tell you what they said. It said, facts, family. Most proud, egomaniac men are jealous of another man who is wiser, stronger, courageous, handsome, etc. than them. They see them as threats. Only humble men who are selfless leaders will recognize another leader. No need to give them energy and attention. It's a waste of time. He spoke today. They're in love with him. They fear him. That's why they waste all the time and energy on him. A good leader must be willing to follow first. GMJ waited his turn. He watched BLM show out with no results. He learned from his past leaders and watched them killed when they spoke up. He read their books. He had studied them, the system. He went to the army and served. He ran for president of the United States and much, much more. He waited his turn. He prepared himself. What have they done? He doesn't speak to haters. He speaks to his equals. They're an insult to his intelligence. People who are woke should unsubscribe from the haters' pages and let others know. We are woke. GMJ took the wheel. Now let the haters burn in hell and somebody go and butter their toast. This is the typical type of stuff that I'm getting right now from you all. You all are pouring out your soul in these notes to me. And what I find most interesting is that it doesn't, I mean, brothers and sisters, it's not just it's brothers and sisters, that you all really understand that we are in motion and that those people who don't want to go, that's okay. We're not going to let you can't talk us out of it. You can't turn us against it because this is not about me. This is not about us. This is not about NFAC. This is about the Most High. And if you see, they want to act like they're not in tune to what's really going on. Come on, y'all. You can tell who don't read and who doesn't. I mean, if they wanted to really hide the revolution, just put it in a book and everybody would miss it. The same way I had to teach y'all about research. We're not going to do that. We're going to continue to look at these situations right now that now affect us today, but we got to respond and stop trying to put things back into the 60s. Haven't y'all looked at the condition of the government? Do you really believe that the U.S. government is solid and as united as they was back in coming out of Jim Crow? That was the white establishment that still had to reconcile with the newly freed Negro recognized as a full human being because of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. That's the kind of government that they were already together. This government that's in a shambles right now, that can't nobody trust each other. They ain't got no leadership. All kind of crazy bills getting thrown around. People doing all kind of stuff. They just crooked. Laws is being broken. It's in a mess. This government is creeping to the end of, they ain't claiming victory on nothing right now. They just quiet. Every couple of days hiding in the bunker. Shit is out of control. The country is in a complete disarray. Racial relations have destroyed the fabric of the country. And now instead of us sitting around and seizing this opportunity for us to get our shit together and decide what we're going to do and pool our resources and maybe, get out of here or build something. Some of us, and I got to be fair. I never thought I'd hear myself say this, but I'm going to be fair. I'm going to be fair right here for a second, y'all. Y'all got to rock with me. You have to look at Black people on a whole as someone who's been in an abused relationship, an abusive relationship. They've been beaten, they've been raped, they've been lied on, they've had their property stolen, they've been dishonored, treated less than a human being, they've been unjustly thrown in jail. It's an abusive relationship. And the abuser is still in the room. And there's someone who's come along that's trying to help the person that's being abused, but that person looks like the person that abused them last time. So I can understand that you're a little afraid. I understand you're afraid, but you're gonna have to trust me on this one because I'm trusting him on this one. Y'all, let me be a little transparent for everybody out there. Y'all really don't understand what this looks like from my perspective. 3 months ago, I was just in quarantine like the rest of y'all. 3 months later, I got people walking up to me saying, how does it feel to be the new Malcolm X? And I'm looking at them like, I don't see it that way. I'm just doing what I feel I have to do. It's inside of me. I can feel it. It won't let me just turn the TV off and turn my back and be like, that messed up. I can't do that. I got to get up. I got to go. I got to do something about it. And all this stuff that done spun off of it, I really don't care about all of that. It's amazing to me to watch it happen, but that still doesn't mean I'm not going to do what I said I was going to do. Y'all don't seem to get it. Those people in Louisville wasn't following me because I'm like, come on, y'all, let's go down here so we can fuck some shit up. Y'all don't seem to get it. They weren't following me. I was going down there on my own. They were coming down there on their own too. Y'all just see a bunch of people on code. Speaking of which, NFAC, on standby. Pass the word. Don't stand by. Y'all know what's coming. Don't stand by. Don't put it out there right now. Don't stand by. Anyway, let me move on. This is the midday muse. Not gonna be with you long. Just want to come through the middle of the day and muse with you on a few things. I want to shift for a second because somebody was asking me, they were asking me about this whole piece about how this ties into several religions, not one religion, several religions intertwined. A lot of religions have these commonalities that they like to ignore. They just want to focus on the uniqueness of their particular practice. Well, you know, we're special because we're the only ones that have continuous high praise, because it says right here that you will continuously praise me. I'm like, okay, so you built your whole religion on just that one verse. But what about all the other commonalities you have with all the other people? And you go, well, no. Those things are natural. No. You can't tell me that we got the same God, but we have different messiahs. I can't understand that one. You can't tell me that my God, since you said it's my God, you gave it to me, that my God told you that I'm to be in a backslidden state. You can't show me that. Show me where he said that. And I don't want to see your version. Show me the original text where it is written. And if it's not in a language that you understand, tell me what language it is, and I'll go learn that language. I'll learn Aramaic, I'll learn Greek, I'll learn Hebrew, so I can go read it as it was actually written, so I can understand which word was actually used. See, you can change one word, change the whole context of the sentence. So it changes the whole message. So when you tell me that someone has interpreted something, that means that they put it in their version. No, I don't want that. I want to know exactly how it was said. See, that's the problem with a lot of people on social media. It has given rise to what I call the keyboard coward. These are people who will type things that they would never say to your face. These are people who will spew the ugliest thoughts, but in your presence, they're the nicest people. See, that's because they can put the words out, but you can't convey the emotion. You see what I'm saying? I don't know how you meant that. So you could be saying it in a real passive way. You could be saying it in a sarcastic way. So I'm always open for someone, anybody, to come talk to me in an open forum if you have some concerns. I heard somebody say that, why hasn't anyone reached out to you? I asked myself the same question. My name is in your mouth, but you ain't talked to me. Man to man, woman to woman, adult to adult, when you have a problem with somebody, if nobody ever told you, you either pick up the phone or you go see that person. That's how grown folks handle business. But don't play with children, because children will dial 1-800 Child Protective Services and have your ass locked up. So I don't play with children. But I do find it interesting that when people ask me about the intersectionality of all these different religions, then I have to say, you do remember that it states in chapter 11 in the book of Jubilee, where it talks about the sons of Noah who began to war and to shed the blood of men on earth and begin to eat blood. Y'all remember that. Y'all like to talk about all of these festivals and rituals that we should be keeping, but you never seem to want to crack open the book of Jubilee where Yahweh's name was stored. Let me go ahead and crack it open for you real quick. You thought you was going to get away. No, we're going to slide into this morning. It says right there that in the 35th Jubilee, in the third week in the first year, Nerud took to himself a wife, and her name was Orah, and the daughter of Ur, and the son of Kesed, and she bare him a son, and she called him, his name was Sarai. And in the 7th year of this week of the Jubilee, we in the Jubilees for a minute. See, I just got deep. You're going to have to stay with me. This is not the slave master's Bible. No. You can't stay there, because there's how you got deceived. Mm-hmm. And then the sons of Noah began to war on each other, to take captive and to slay each other, and to shed the blood of men on the earth, and to eat blood, and to build strong cities and walls and towers. And individuals began to exalt themselves above the nation, and to found the beginnings of the kingdoms, and to go to war against people, and nation against nation, and city against city, and all began to do evil. Damn it. Sound like I'm talking about today, don't it? It goes on. And to teach their sons war, and they begin to capture cities and to sell male and female slaves. See how everything is 360 degrees in the ball, and we come back, and they made to themselves molten images and they worship each the idol and the molten image which they had made for themselves, and they began to make graven images and unclean images, and malignant spirits assisted and seduced them into committing transgressions and uncleanliness. Did y'all hear what the man said right here in the book? Listen what they said. Malignant spirits assisted them. They said that they had the help from the spirits, the souls that were left over from the Nephilim, who were birthed from the union between women and the fallen angels. Can I talk to y'all from the original text for a minute? They say I talk too much about the Most High. What do you mean I talk too much? You don't talk about him at all. So if I decide in the middle of us breaking down some worldly matters to show you that the root of why we do this goes way, way, way back, since everybody want to claim, well, we're the descendants of the 12 tribes. And then you can always tell the tribes came from Shem and this, that, and the third. Okay, but do you know the politics of what was going on at that time? Do you understand the mindset and the context of what was going on in those days for you to think yourself to be equal to them, when in actuality you should have evolved and should be better than them, instead of acting like you still are just like them? I'll talk to y'all for 2 more seconds. You're on the midday news right now. Now, I bring that up just to illustrate to you that there's nothing that's happening today that hasn't happened before. The only difference is everything continues in a cycle. But when it's time, when the clock says, and I will give you signs and wonders in the sky, you're paying attention to the sky, right? That means it's a warning. Get ready. Here it comes. This ain't the time to get your mind blown. This ain't the time for you to get scared. You need to find your space in this place and get ready. What are we getting ready for? Whatever your ancestral spirit is telling you, everybody's getting a different message. Some of y'all not getting the message at all, and we know why. That's the issue. Ain't nobody talking to you. You're not getting no visions. You still lost in the sauce. Because you don't seem to realize that it's not too hard to figure out who your father is. Not your physical father, your spiritual father. It's not too hard. That's why you're being exposed, all of you, because it's easy to fool the people in the absence of the master. But once the master manifests itself in the presence of the people, and their souls begin to illuminate because they're in the presence of the master or his messenger, then all of a sudden, those of you all who are not of that lineage, who are not of those 12 tribes, who came from what they call the caste of the other men, then you won't glow. You will be turned into what you always have been, our adversary. It's not about your skin color. It's the color of your soul. We talked about what happens when you show up at judgment the other day, that you manifest the true shape of who you are when your soul is released from this body. Ain't nobody never told you what happened when you show up. We go back and watch that if you haven't. But now what I'm showing you, that it is further justified. In the ancient scriptures, they let you know this. They keep telling you it is not about what you see out here on the outside. It is about the soul that inhabits on the inside. And everything you do is shaping your soul for its ultimate form. I know some people who got released the other day when they told me, they said, you helped me out because I had a relative that was very deformed and their body had become a prison to them. But then hearing what you were talking about in the scriptures where it says, once you pass through the filter, the true form of your soul was beauty. This person was so beautiful that even the brilliant ones were dazzled by, wow, look at this. Kodesh Madakim, whose job it is just to shine. That's what they do. Even they was like, damn, they shining. That's how beautiful they was. Your soul is what I'm talking about. But some of y'all don't get that because they're not the children of the king. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what you don't do is turn around and try to attack the movement of the kingly people. You see, because we're not the ones you're going to have to deal with. You're going to have to deal with the Most High. That's why there's a spirit of karma floating around the world right now. It's on its 33rd revolution. It's still just stuff is getting exposed on the regular. Y'all think this stuff is popping up now. Remember what they say, when you point one finger at somebody, 3 are pointed back at you. So that means somebody is on their way to a fall. Pride always proceeds to fall. I want to thank the viewer that sent me a note that says I've been following you for a long time, and I have watched your evolution. I just want to warn you that it sounds like the people are more into you than they are into Yah. So if you could tone it down, because some people are getting a little they're idolizing. So I'm like, listen, I'm pretty sure that when they decided to go get Yeshua and do what they did to him, hung him on a tree, because that's what the original Hebrew word says. It doesn't say anything about a cross. Don't do your research. Don't get mad at me. That when they hung him on the tree, because they've been hanging us on trees, it seems, for thousands of years. That the people were in love with him, and he was in love with them. They loved him. And he could come to your house, kick back, recline. But then why he added work a couple of miracles for you, but you need more work. But at the end of the day, what someone actually said was, we want the gift, but we don't want the box that it came in, and you can't separate the two. So you too have to remember that we are in a place where we're not proud of what we're doing. We're doing what we're proud of. That's the difference. You see, we have to be proud of the black race again. We have to be proud of the black man again. We have to be proud of the black woman when she walks in the room. We have to be proud of the black family again. Proud of the black community. Proud of our contributions to culture. So that's what we're working hard for. We're not trying to be proud of who we are. We're trying to be who we are because of what we're proud of. That's where we build our racial esteem. See, y'all got great personal esteem. Y'all know that. I've told you this. Ain't nobody do nothing to y'all. Y'all proud of yourself, but you have low racial esteem, and it's starting to raise now. And you know how you know it's raising? Because they getting upset. Somebody said this to me the other day, and I'm going to share it with y'all. And I was called up by an elder, and the elder said to me, I just thought I called to let you know that you don't pay them fools no mind, because we've been saying this stuff to them for years and they didn't pay us no mind. You think they paying us some mind now? Yes, they are. You got their attention, and everything that we ever wanted to say, they're listening now. Why? Because y'all done got organized and picked up some guns. Everybody who's hating on that fact, then you need to go and jump off a bridge, because we finally got a few things and we could probably get some more. We got some transparency in the Breonna Taylor. Did y'all forget about Breonna? This is about Breonna. We got some transparency in the case, and we can see that every day they busting their ass trying to get that case closed down and get us a resolution. We looking over here to Ahmaud Arbery. They still throwing charges at these motherfuckers over here. We don't motivated them so much. They still throwing stuff at them. Okay. The point I'm making to you is this: the person had to let me know. Y'all stop being negative by default and celebrate some of the victories that we've had. Then we can talk about the negative stuff. Stop digging around in mess because you're messy. Don't do that. Let us celebrate the victories. Let us remember what happened at Stone Mountain. That was history making, Black people. Let us remember what happened in Louisville, Kentucky. That was history making, Black people. Let us remember that during that time, there were people in their 80s and 90s who cried because they said they thought they would leave this earth and never see anything. Don't let people rob you of the moments that you can feel good about yourself, because they want to get you focused on mess and burn up all of your bandwidth on negativity. Understand this. I find it very interesting that a lot of the stuff that I've read, none of it is about Breonna. All of the stuff I've read, all of these people running around, having these discussions, but none of them are talking about, well, how do we get justice for her if that's not going to work? I haven't heard anybody say that. I haven't heard anybody say, well, okay, Jay, you went down there and talked to the people and y'all got some transparency and y'all went down there, the big old show, and we'll take it from here. We're going to do this. I haven't heard that from anybody. I have to salute the people that's still on the ground, that's been protesting since day one, because they still out there. They're not letting up. But to the rest of the world, yeah, the Oprah came in and bought the billboards. Okay, what rest of y'all? What? So why, come on now. This is what I'm getting at. The whole thing is celebrate the victories that we've had before y'all so quick to be so negative. Don't y'all hate when y'all do something and then the first time somebody come to you, well, how do you think we did? And the first thing out their mouth is something negative. That blows my mind. In the military, we have what's called an AAR. Y'all know what this is, an after action review. What that means is we get together, everybody, we don't care what your rank is, don't mean your rank don't mean nothing. We all get in the room and we talk about what we did right, what we did wrong, what we could do better. You understand what I'm saying? It's not just to tear down, it's to be better next time. So think about it. Every time you go out and something happens, your next AAR should address that. But celebrate what you did. Celebrate what you did right. Did you pull it off? Yes. Were you successful? Yes. Did you achieve your goal? Yes. Okay, celebrate that. Now, what did you do wrong? Well, we did this. How can we not do that next time? Do da. You see what I'm saying? Then you learn from those lessons. That's how you move forward. You don't just come in and say, y'all messed all of this up and boom, 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 boom. And everybody's sitting there like, well, damn, what about all the stuff that we did that was right? Understand that. Like, they don't ignore the fact nobody got arrested anywhere that we've been. No one's gotten arrested. Nobody. Not one piece of property has been damaged. Nowhere. Somebody dropped a gun and the gun went off. Okay, but we ain't got into no running shootout. We ain't shot up the place. This is the Midday Muse. I'm Grandmaster Jay. Those are the things I came to put on your mind in the middle of the day. I hope to see y'all tonight on Facts Over Feelings, because I'm going to be there. I hope you'll be there too. In the meantime and in between time, y'all know what I'm going to say. Look, don't talk about it. You ain't going to be about it. We got to move on. I'll see y'all later. Midday Muse, baby.